Taryl, what's up?
Oh, Slippers, it's you.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe you could help me with something.
With what?
Sealing these tanks up.
Don't you know how to seal them?
Well, yeah, but I was wondering if you could help me, because you're pretty good at it.
You're gonna have to get some kind of red coat.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Well, I'll just leave these here, and I'll go get a red coat, and then I'll be back.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
All right, Taryl, I'm back.
Did you get the sealer?
I got a red coat. That's what you told me to get.
No, you knucklehead. I told you to get Red Kote Sealer. That's the sealer.
Oh. Yeah, I was wondering why you wanted me to get a red coat. I didn't know how that was going to help me seal my tanks.
That's the name of the sealer, Red Kote.
Oh, okay. Well, I got you now. All right. Well, where can I get some of that? You think you got some?
Yeah, I got a can of Red Kote here. Take the gas tanks and take them over on the bench and we'll look inside.
All right, great. Well, let's get to sealing these babies. It's almost springtime. I want to ride my bikes.
All right, Slippers. That red coat will seal over any existing rust that's in there as long as it's not loose. But the tank's got to be dry, and this tank looks like it's got water in it. No wonder it's all rusty.
Yeah, I think somebody tried to already seal that with that cream stuff, and it started peeling off.
Well, we got to get this out of here and get it dry before we can put the red coat in.
Okay.
And this one, I don't know what that is in there.
I think that's rust in that one.
I don't know if that's rust. That might just be old varnishy gas.
All right, yeah, well, whatever was in them was getting into my carburetors, so I want to seal them. I tried to get that cream stuff out of there. I used some sort of chemical that removes powder coating, and that got some of it out. Then put some acetone in there. That seemed to work pretty good. And then some degreaser, and now here we are.
Well, there's still a little bit of loose particles in there. We got to get all that out and get it clean and dry.
Well, I haven't put anything into this tank yet.
Well, I think it's just like, I don't think it's rust. I think it's just residue from the gas, like varnishy. So we'll try some acetone in there and see what that'll do. All right, Slippers, hold the funnel while I pour the acetone in there.
All right, don't spill any on this tank. Looks like I'm spilling out.
Okay, now Slippers, carefully slosh it around in there for a while.
All right, I can do that. Well, the acetone took about that much out of the tank, and that's about nothing. So we're gonna try a little PP.
And we don't mean urine, we mean purple powder.
Exactly correct. Need me to hold the funnel?
Hold the funnel again, Slippers.
That's my best job.
And then we'll mix it like 50-50 and see if this works. Alright, Slippers, I got most of the crap out of this Honda tank, and that Yamaha tank I filled up with a full gallon of PP.
Alright.
And I'm gonna let it sit overnight, kind of eat that crap off that was in there, which I don't think is rust. I think it's like residue, gasoline residue that's in there.
Oh, okay.
The most important thing in sealing any tank is the preparation, because if you don't prep it right, I don't care what sealer you use, it's not gonna stick or it's not gonna work.
Okay, so we gotta let this dry completely then.
Right, it's wet. We rinsed it out real good with water, but it's still a little wet, so maybe take it outside and let it sit in the sun.
Alright, well, how long do you think it's gonna take to dry out completely?
I don't know, 12 hours, 14 hours, so that'll be the next day.
I can't wait around that long. I got stuff to do all week.
Well, I don't expect you to wait around, you knucklehead. Leave the tanks here and I'll seal them up.
All right, well, I'll come back then when they're all done.
Well, take that one and put it outside first in the sun. Let it kind of dry faster.
Oh, my mom. She makes the best homemade salsa. I'm gonna have to bring you some after I get this done.
Well, why don't you bring it before then?
Well, I'm gonna be busy all week.
All right, Clifford, bring me the salsa whenever you get a chance.
When the tanks are done, I'll bring the salsa. My mom's homemade salsa.
All right.
It's the best.
Okay, Clifford. The Red Kote is coming! The Red Kote is coming! All right, we got the tanks all prepped. They're all nice and dry inside. They're pretty clean. We put a bunch of nuts and bolts in there and shook it to get a lot of that stuff out of there. The best way to do it would be if you had some kind of machine that would do it, so you ain't gotta sit there. It is a good workout. And I like to use nuts and bolts because then I can retrieve them with a magnet on a stick. I've used pea gravel, but the trouble with pea gravel, you gotta shake and shake and shake, and you're trying to get them all out. Nuts and bolts, you shake most of them out, then I go in with the magnet on a stick. So that's why I like nuts and bolts. So on this Honda tank, it's got this crossover hose that goes on there. So I got me a piece of 5/32 fuel line and shoved it in there because we want to kind of keep this open. We don't want this to get plugged up while we're sealing it. Plus, we kind of want to seal it off too. So I put that in it, and then we made this stopper with a piece of rubber and a piece of flat metal 1 inch wide, and we put a bolt in it because that's got a petcock on it. On the Yamaha tank, we just use the plastic plug. So now, open the Red Kote, get a nice clean funnel. We're gonna pour some in there. Now I'm gonna take this bag and stick it over that, so that way we don't get any to slosh out on us. And then I'll do the same on this one with the gas cap. So we'll open the Red Kote and pour it in. Now make sure you use this stuff in a well-ventilated area, and they don't recommend shaking it because you'll get air bubbles in it. And you can reuse whatever you don't use. The excess that's in here, they say you can pour it back in the can. So I poured about half of this quart in this gas tank. And now you just kind of swish it around. I'll put the lid back on. They recommend you put the lid back on. Now you can use this stuff to seal your lawnmower tanks, you know, any kind of gas tank. Not just motorcycle tanks, car tanks. Now there's some spots I missed. Now if you get any on the paint of the tank, they say you can use acetone to clean it off, or methyl ethyl ketone, which is MEK. And it takes about 12 hours for this to dry. I got most of it. There's just one little spot here I missed. Now one thing I like about this Red Kote over the 415 is it seals fast. It's pretty liquidy. So when you want to seal the inside of a tank, you only got to spin it around a few times and that tank is coated inside. So you want to make sure you get all that excess out Otherwise, it's gonna puddle in there and it's gonna take forever for it to cure. Alright, to coat this small Yamaha tank, we only use that much Red Kote, about that much out of the quart. And then I did get a little bit when I took the plastic off, so I took some acetone and it wiped up, and then that stuff evaporates real quick. So this tank, it's pretty fast and easy to seal these. Like I said, it's all in the preparation. So we're gonna let that sit over here. You could also transfer it to another container like a mason jar. That seals up good. If you want to save the Red Kote other than in that can. Which we may have to do on this Honda tank, because this Honda tank was pretty bad. They put some sealer in it and they didn't prep it right, and that sealer, we had a heck of a time getting all that sealer out of it. We tried all different stuff. But that Yamaha tank just had old gas in it, and that Purple Power, we let it sit overnight, and that Purple Power ate 99% of that old fuel residue out of it. Now, I didn't put any water in it. I put it in 100% the second time. And then I recaptured that too. I poured that Purple Power back in the gallon can. I didn't waste it. So you could use it again. Let some of it drain down. Now see, we got a little oozing out of our hose, but that's okay. We got our rag with the acetone on it. And then I'll probably drain the excess out through here anyway, because we kind of want to get some Red Kote on the inside of these nipples. So we used about 1/4 of a can for 1 coat each on them motorcycle gas tanks, just to give you an idea of how far this stuff can go and how many tanks you can seal with 1 quart. So I'll let that stuff kind of set up, and then I'll give them both a second coat, and then we'll let them sit for 12 hours and give them back to Slippers, and he can put them on his motorcycles and give me some money. All right, now they've sat overnight, and it appears to be nice and dry in there. Now, one thing you got to remember is a lot of times that Red Kote will get in the seams here. So it'll be a little bit thicker or heavier in there, and you might have to let it cure a little bit longer than 12 hours. And then I took the remainder of the sealer and I poured it in a mason jar and sealed it up good, because that lid on that can was popping off on it. So I figured I'd just put it in a mason jar. So that's all there is to sealing some gas tanks with that Red Kote sealer. Remember, it's all in the preparation if you want it to stick good. So follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, subscribe to this YouTube channel, buy our Taryl apparel, and there's your dinner. Oh, Slippers is here.
Taryl, I'm here. Is that tank all done? They're both done?
Yep, tanks are all ready. You might want to let them sit it maybe another day. Make sure that stuff cures long enough.
Oh, all right, great. Let me look inside. See how they turned out. Oh, wow. Yeah, it looks pretty good in there.
So figure $20 a tank.
$20 a tank?
Yeah.
Well, I brought you some of Mother's homemade salsa.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still $20 a tank.
That's like $50 right there at least.
For this?
Yeah.
Little thing of salsa?
That salsa's delicious, all right? It's like gold. You'll thank me later, I'm telling you, all right?
Boy, Slippers, you are cheap.
Sorry, man.
Take your tanks and get out of here.
Oh yeah, they look good. All right, well, thanks, Taryl. Throw them on the bikes.
Salsa better be worth $40.
Yeah, I'm telling you, once you taste it, you'll be thanking me later. All right, Taryl, I'm off.
Let's try this homemade salsa. Smells pretty good.